Greetings, fellow captains, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hive Hand. And today we've actually got, well, technically 3 matches in the Shimakaze, but we are going to speed them up a bit to keep them quite short, because destroyer play is not exactly the most action-packed, particularly when you're in a sneaky DD like the Shimakaze. So we've got 2 main games anyway, and I know which one I performed the best in, but which one do you think I performed the best in? Because the result screens and my damage dealt and everything are drastically different. So as you can see, we get, well, my teammate gets spotted by the lightning. He fires up the smoke screen. The lightning turns away and I fire some torps off at the GK whilst I've got the chance. And the first thing I do is accelerate out. And this is exactly why. So I was looking at shots on this Yamato. Kagero turned up, instantly hit his smoke as soon as he was spotted. So first thing I do, I was aiming at the Yamato. Torps looked like they were in about the right general location, and very much the same situation exactly just happened. There's 2 DDs in a smoke screen and they got absolutely annihilated. But they did leave enough gap for 1 torpedo to get through and hit the Yamato as well. So don't sit in the smoke screen. As you can see, the lightning destroyed my other destroyer, and right off the bat, considering how powerful destroyers are, we lost ADD already. Now notice what that lightning did. Obviously he was aware that there was another destroyer out here. He didn't know it was me, but he skits off into the middle of the map, leaving his teammate, this Grosser Kurfürst, completely to my mercy. There was literally nothing this Grosser Kurfürst could really do. The lightning's the other side. If the lightning positioned himself between us, could have spotted me. He's a lightning. He could have taken me out quite easily in a gunfight. He could have seen my torps and given the Kurfürst a bit of advance warning to pull some maneuvers, but he didn't. And as you can see, my team have already lost 4 ships. 2 destroyers and 2 battleships have already gone down. So, to be honest with you, at this point, I initially thought, right, well, there we go, there's another destroyer gone. All I can really do now is use this game to try and farm as much damage as I can, and we successfully deal an awful lot of damage in this game. There's the Grosser Kurfürst taking 5 torpedoes. That is 130,000 damage already in this match. And as you can see, I can see there's a Yamato over there. Alright, 2 of their DDs could be by him, but I'm assuming their DDs are probably chasing our 2 remaining battleships at this point. So I hold my shots. Even though I've got the range, I could fire much further out. I want to get as close as I can. Alright, I could have got another kilometre closer, but I wanted to get off here, be behind the island. He is going to be unaware that he's spotted, and he's probably not going to expect torpedoes. And there we go, there's now the dev strike. That is 204,000 damage. I am now the last person left on my team. And I think the important part to notice here is, besides right at the start, I didn't do a lot of spotting. You know, I probably should have pushed into the middle right at the start, knowing that their DDs were going to be there. We get spotted, we fire up our smoke screen, we hit the GK, and do we kill him? Yeah, we did kill him. Getting another kill. The lightning reappears. This was the lightning that killed our buddy with torps right off the start. And special guest time. That is Dan Diablo in the Akatsuki, the tier 7 gunboat. Shimakaze, obviously a torpedo boat. He fires every like 3 seconds, and he potatoes most of them. And he runs away. I was a bit salty at this point, I'm not going to lie. That should have been a cracking for me. But, yeah, he ran off. We do get hit by radar. Like I set off a bunch of torpedoes in preparation for someone to push round. We get spotted by the radar. Dan appears just as the timer ends. So, 251,000 damage and 4 kills. I think most people would probably agree that that was a really good game. But we were the only person to kill anyone on our team. We didn't really, I'd say, I don't know whether me trying to support the team a bit more instead of going after damage would have made much of a difference. Because we lost so many so quickly. But most people agree that that was a great game. Personally, I didn't. I was a bit upset. I was. So this game is going to be. It's going to be a drastically different outcome. So you can see we're spotting for my team. I request for people to pick on the Wichita because Shimakaze, Wichita's got radar. Ideally, we'd want him to die as quickly as possible. And Rogue Z23 gets spotted. He gets... wait for it. I've not got... As you see, I'm looking for shots. He's taking a bit of damage. There, he gets absolutely pounded. Now, there's only one place where he can really go, and he's probably wanting to sneak up on that Alaska and get the kills. And massive mistake here. He's going to die 100%. He didn't fire his guns. He could have got 2 salvos off at me, maybe even 3, and he fires the torpedoes through the gap that were never, ever going to hit me. Possibly might have hit my team, but they know they're on their way. Why destroyers feel the need to torpedo other destroyers, particularly when they're out and spotted and in open water. Firing into a smoke screen, yes, always a good bet. Firing at a torpedo, a destroyer out in the open, the most agile and maneuverable ships, probably not the best. So here we sit around, we're trying to keep the Wichita lit up, hoping that our team can finish him off whilst he squirrely rudder shifts himself away. Now, if he'd got a bit closer, or if he'd stayed behind the island, he could have radared me. He could have taken me out of the game. But he didn't. He chose not to. He chose to run away, save himself, which, alright, okay, yes, he's still alive, but what good is he to his team off in the bottom corner of the map? I'd say not much at all, really. Obviously, it's just that Wichita kiting away, so I decide, right, let's secure some points, because we're at a bit of a disadvantage at the moment of about 250 points, and the only way to make that back up is, well, there's 2 ways. There's kills, and of course there's caps, and everyone knows caps make prizes. So we fire a couple of salvos off at the curve first. One thing you might notice that I do most of the time is I will only fire 2 salvos. I try to keep the 3rd set because you never know when you're going to need the 3rd set. So the enemy team is pushing around the back. My 2 division mates are down at D, dealing with the threats to the south, and there is just this one lone cruiser. And you see the big difference here? Well, I've capped 2 bases and I've been supporting my team. I'm coming up here purely to support this cruiser. Odin's going to be the biggest threat to him, so we launch some torpedoes in his general direction and fire some off through the gap just in case the Wichita thinks he's clever, and boom, we get another hit, scoring a measly 30,000 damage in total. Now, one of my teammates, Lord Anubis, unfortunately succumbed to a crossfire So if you look at the mini-map, we know from the positions that there is one ship out there which is spotted, which is the Grosser Kurfürst, and Mr. Bigglesworth is now stuck in between a Grosser Kurfürst and another Alaska. Now, pushing out, spotting the Alaska is letting Mr. Bigglesworth, one, know where he is, and two, let him know how and where to position himself. Now, granted, I am looking for torpedoes on the Alaska, but completely unnecessary, because Mr. Bigglesworth sends him to the bottom of Davy Jones's locker, sacrifices himself to take out the second biggest threat left to me. An Alaska and a Wichita and a Grosser Kurfürst is all that remains. But the Wichita, he wasn't in a position to attack the Wichita, but he took out the Alaska, which basically give me a lot more freedom. I know roughly where the Wichita is. I can obviously see exactly where the Kurfürst is, and I fire my 2 salvos, give it a bit of a spread, try and reduce his ability, and that's when the Cleveland goes down, my last ship. But I kept that 3rd set of torpedoes, which I spanked off in the Wichita's way. Kurfürst down, we set a fire, and
ooh, cheeky.
Mr. Bigglesworth's reaction was awesome here, so I had to put it in.
What a game, man. Oh, oh my God! What a guy! What a guy! Oh, well done. That's a game definitely you can put up. I want to watch that on YouTube. Watch.
So there it is, Mr. Bigglesworth. It is on YouTube, and as you can see now, personally, I thought this second game was definitely the best out of the two. I engaged with my team, we focused targets, I went round capped bases, and we won. But I didn't score an obscene amount of damage. It wasn't a 250,000 damage game, but it was a win. And the plays we made, again, chasing the destroyer down, keeping things lit up, capping the bases, led to that win. If it wasn't for me not going out and getting damage hungry like it did in the first match, we would have never have won. 100% guaranteed that would have been a loss. So I want to thank Mr. Bigglesworth and Lord Anubis for those matches last night. They were an absolute blast. And, well, hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. If you did, drop something in the comments. Don't forget to hit us a like. And until next time, take care.